Hi, welcome back or welcome to the Cultural Gladiator page. I'm Kay, the voice behind this page. I created this space to share my thoughts and open up real discussions with real people around today's cultural trends, media, and the hidden meanings we often overlook. To give you some information about me, I hold a bachelor's in interdisciplinary studies from the Louisiana State University. My focus blended between anthropology, geography, and history. I have always loved history and media, not just as entertainment, but as a lens for understanding people, the power, and the pattern. What's funny is when really digging into research, uh, historians, anthropologists, even early journalists, they were the original reporters. They were the gossipers. They recorded who did what, when, and why. I think, or at least I like to think, I'm carrying on a tradition, just in a modern cultural way. So just to start this off, this series of, my insightful thoughts. I want to take it on maybe something a little lighter, and I want to talk about the Labubus. They're innocent on the surface, but I first discovered these things, these keychains, right? These toys from a YouTuber here named Remy Ashton. She shared her love for Sunny Angels, and then when she ended up traveling overseas to Asia, she found these Labubus, and the Labubu went to Lafufu. It was a way of like a fever, a wave, Justin Bieber fever. So anyway, these little collectible keychains are marked as, I guess, a way to personalize your own belongings. So you're personalizing your own personal items. People love these things. I see something deeper though. When I first saw these, especially again, like I told you, the youth on TikTok, they weren't just toys. They were like traumatizing in a way. When I saw them, it immediately made me think about Where the Wild Things Are, a classic children's book that shaped many in my generation. Showing my age, spoiler alert as well. If you haven't read it, it follows a boy named Max who misbehaves, gets sent to his room, and then journeys to an imaginary land filled with monsters, his wild side, his emotions, his inner chaos. Eventually, he returned home and he changed. This book introduced us, especially millennials, to the idea that our imagination was valid, even when it felt dark or messy. That I guess like our monsters were part of us. It was the first time we saw children explore their inner demons without being punished for it. Instead, they were crowned king. You know, shout out to the queens as well. Um, and so I guess the interpretation of Labubus, right, as like these modern personalized archives or artifacts. Um, So when I see Labubu keychains today, I don't just think, oh, these cute little collectibles. I see a mirror. These trinkets let us carry around little avatars or subconsciouses. But in today's world, we often demonize what we don't understand. In the West, at least, in the West, it's a pattern, it's a habit. If something doesn't fit the status quo, it gets erased, it gets mocked, it gets labeled as evil. That's what makes the Boo Boo craze so interesting on one hand, to me at least. Because, like I said, this was wild on TikTok, even reached over, YouTube to TikTok. So it was something that I saw that it had such a strong following after a while. It was a way, like I said before, for people to personalize their items and kind of join and form this new community. On the other hand, it also was a projection, right? We're seeing a trend that started as cute turn into paranoia. Some corners of TikTok, I fell into the hole. They were saying Labubus were demonic. They were saying they were feeling chilled over their body, even though like they were in the room by themselves, they were getting these goosebumps. And they were waking up with scars and scratches. They were waking up with these little boo-boos kind of like moved around. And so, again, they brought up this episode on The Simpsons because we all feel like The Simpsons predict everything in the future, right? Especially being a person that dabbles in conspiracy and also understand how a tale can also have truth. Um, I had to go and visit this episode of The Simpsons because I'm like, I am not dealing with the Nelson Mandela effect here. But anyway, so there's an episode of The Simpsons where Maggie is possessed by a Pazuzu, but this Pazuzu was sent to Homer. It's this artifact. And this artifact takes over Homer, and Homer then possesses, or this Pazuzu possesses Maggie. And again, Maggie's the innocent child. She's the baby. She's the youngest Simpson. So again, adults having this influence on their children. And so they had to perform this thing. I can't say it on here on YouTube, but they had to do this thing to cleanse Maggie Homer had to cleanse the home. That clip went viral again, thanks to a YouTuber and a TikToker. If I could remember their names, I'll add them in. But they pointed out how media sneaks these references into what we think or what we perceive as just entertainment. Whether you call it culture jamming, culture programming, it is real. This is a real thing. And here is the kicker. Here's the kicker. Adults are the ones deciding what's being shown to the youth. They control the filters. They give the green lights, the trends. We are the voters here. They allow what's shared, just like these collectible items, to be deemed as these demonic symbols. So in, I guess, just wrapping this whole thing up. Sorry, wrapping it up. So when you see a Labubu or a Sunny Angel, or the next time you're on TikTok and you see a trend, ask yourself, are you celebrating an expression? Are you packing a fear into cuteness? Or are you trying to control the message? It's up to you to decode it. But I hope you enjoy this insight I have, and I hope to see you all back. Subscribe, follow, enjoy.